We are Witches Who Podcast. Hey, Dee.
Hey, Shelby.
You got a weird story for me?
I kind of do. It's kind of creepy.
Ooh, even better.
I don't know how I felt about that. My youngest and I started watching Stranger Things again
yes.
because we're so excited for the finale.
Yeah.
The final season come out in November. So I was like, hey, we should start watching it again. And I forgot how terrifying it was the first time around. And it
just
took me
gets
really long.
Scarier and scarier every season.
But it's like a hot pepper that you can't, even though it like burn you, you're like, oh, it kind of tastes good. You continue to eat it.
You gotta keep eating it or it's awful. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's,
that's a really good way to describe it.
I was like, it's so good. I cannot stop watching. So yesterday I binge watch. I don't even know how many episodes because I'm like, we're going to watch it together and he'll go do something, and we'll talk about it. And then they left, him and my other son left, and I still watch it longer.
Do they get mad at you when you do that?
No, he was like, you know what? I'm totally cool. I'm like,
because they've already seen it. So
yeah.
It's not...
Yeah. And I don't know if he's seen it more than once. This is only my second time and I'm only in the first season.
Okay.
So
I do that all the time with Christian. I'll start shows and then he'll I'm obviously home earlier than he is because a lot of times I work from home, and I'll just watch the entire thing and he's like, seriously? Sorry.
You're like, I can't wait for you to finish it because we need to talk about it.
And then I started pretending. And he's like, I can see our history. Like, you watched them all. I can see it on the thing. Yeah. Anyways.
Clearly did not work for you.
Yeah. No.
So we were watching that, and the Demogorgon, or that it looks like a flower. I'm like, it's kind of pretty, but at the same time, it's terrifying with all the flower teeth, right? Yeah. And so yesterday they left. And I still watched it, and then I stopped it, and it's just me and the cat at home, and it's dark, and my brain starts to go, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what would I do if it shows up? Where does it come? I'm looking at all the mirrors.
Oh my gosh.
And I get in the shower, and I needed to get in the shower, and I was like, hey, Ramses, you're in charge, dude. You better not, hopefully you see it is the Demogorgon, right? Or some Gorgon or something. Like, if you see it, hopefully, you kind of look at it and meow really big and
roar
eat
at
it.
Yeah.
But you eat it, like his mouth just becomes ginormous. And
like a snake, his jaw unhinges.
Yeah, kind of like that, which he has a pretty big mouth. I was like, just please eat him and let me shower in peace. Well, I couldn't shower in peace because something was outside in the bushes. Oh, no. It may have been a coyote but it was so weird because I was like, okay, am I bringing this onto myself? Yeah. Which I totally was. But I'm all like, oh my gosh, everything looks like a plant outside because everything is a plant. So everything looks like this thing. Yeah. So, so it was really weird that I'm psyching myself out.
Yeah. So now you think everything is a Demogorgon? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, and I am, and this is the craziest thing. My kids I didn't go to bed till 1 a.m. My kids didn't come home till 1 a.m. because we were helping a friend move and pack so they would move. Oh gosh. And my husband didn't come home until I think also 1 a.m. because he was out at band practice, and I could not go to sleep. Oh no. So I needed now a different show. I couldn't watch
you need
a
palate cleanser.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was watching Project Runway.
Oh, that's a good one.
And so I got very invested.
Yeah.
But from time to time I was like, ooh, what's dark over there? what move? And then I would hear, because here in Fallbrook you hear all the Marines, the Pendleton going. And suddenly I'm like, is that a bomb or somebody trying to get into my house? So finally, my husband gets home. It's like, what are you still doing up? I was like, and I already took my glycinates to go to bed. All of it. Not working. I was like, dang. Yeah.
Oh man. You know what's something that I started doing actually is I got this foot and leg rub thing that's supposed to be for pregnancy, whatever. And it has magnesium in it. And so I started rubbing it on the bottom of my feet. I'm telling you, that's the stuff to do.
Nice. I have one gel that is for the feet and the legs.
Yeah.
It makes me so itchy.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah,
I had to go wash my legs and feet at one time.
That's terrible.
I know.
Yeah, so it's like a peppermint and like shea butter and whatever,
Ooh, I may
coconut
need to.
oil.
I'm gonna need a picture of
And it
that.
has magnesium in it. And it is, yeah, like I just rub it on the bottom of my feet and I'll make Christian like rub it down my leg or something. And I'm like, now put it on your feet. And like, seriously.
You're both out.
Both of us pass out. Yeah, it's so great. But
Will they
so,
work on the babies when they're not sleeping?
they make baby ones.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's just like a lesser like
Yeah, of
dose
course.
or something or
Yeah.
whatever of magnesium. But yeah, they make baby sleep whatever.
Nice.
I know.
I know.
That just reminded me of it. But
So
yeah,
put
so next
your
time.
ladies and gentlemen, put your baby Tylenol. Oh no, Benadryl. I remember.
And NyQuil.
Oh yeah, NyQuil too. It's like, okay,
Oh my
here, have
gosh.
some of this. Like, go calm down, please.
Yep. Yep.
How funny. All right.
And when I was really bad and I was still working in like the corporate world and I had such gnarly insomnia and anxiety, I used to take Benadryl just to fall asleep.
Really?
Yeah, and then it stopped working. So then I went to NyQuil and I was like, this is a problem. There's something
yes!
wrong here.
All
And
the alcohol in it.
it's so bad for you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
NyQuil especially. Because then they started making Z-Quil, which was just for
Oh,
sleep.
that's true.
Non-habit forming. I'm like, bull.
yeah.
Like everything is habit forming. Like that's a bunch of crap.
Usually that NyQuil is like red 40, just like,
Oh yeah, it's horrible for
red
you.
40.
Yeah.
all right.
But yeah, so next time you're dreaming about demigorgons, just rub some magnesium on your feet. You'll be fine.
You'll be asleep if he eats you. You won't see him
You won't
coming.
even know. It's fine.
Yeah.
You don't need it. It's good.
No, thank you.
I always think about like how would I actually react if there was like a disaster like
Oh
that.
my gosh, I
you
always
know?
think of things like that.
Like what would I do? Like the zombie apocalypse or like, you know, Stranger Things actually happens
Yeah.
and like the world is falling apart and there's demogorgons everywhere.
Yeah.
Like what would I do? Would I be like proactive in these kids or like Rambo and like or whatever?
Yeah.
Or would I just be like, you know what? This is my fate. I'm just gonna accept my new life as a zombie. You know, I'm like, what mood? It depends on the mood I'm in that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is true. What, you know, you're gonna have little kids
That's
running
true.
around.
I'm sure it'll change my mind.
So you'll probably also
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, I've been through this birth and all the things. I can take you, zombie."
Yeah, I'm not
You know,
afraid of
I've
you.
been a zombie at night.
Yeah.
It's like,
we are the same here.
yes. I always think about that. It's like I think of how I think I would react
Mm-hmm.
or respond, but then what will actually happen, right?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I think I would just like show up or like
Yeah, of
stand
course.
my
We all
ground.
want to
and,
be,
like, bold, like
yeah,
far
out.
You're like, yeah, in,
Just run.
yeah, no. So yeah, I really don't know how I will respond
Yeah,
if that happened.
yeah.
I have to test it. Like
I'm
somebody
just-
was telling me about that, the volcano that may erupt or is going to erupt.
Oh, in Montana?
No, out the coast of
Oh.
Oregon.
What?
You didn't hear about that? And I thought I lived underground.
Please elaborate.
Well, when I just discovered about this, everybody was looking at me like, huh? How come you don't know about that? How I'm looking at you right
yeah,
now.
what?
So,
so
I
disappointed in myself.
I'm going to butcher this because I have no clue.
All right, maybe we'll do an episode on volcanoes
but
around the world.
There's some volcano off the coast of Oregon that I guess they've been testing, measuring, is getting,
More active
data out of it. And that it is going to explode, like not erupt, erupt
Same thing.
in sometime, I believe, last month in August.
Oh, great. So it's overdue.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, yeah. So, well, full disclosure, we're recording before August. So it hasn't exploded just yet. But again, exploded, erupted.
I literally didn't even think twice about that. I was just totally like, yeah, so it already happened. Wait.
No.
What am I thinking
Sorry.
here?
No, so it's supposed to like erupt in like early August, like July.
Interesting.
And they were saying that there is also
Erupts
like
on your birthday.
magma.
On the
No.
I mean, it is Lionsgate portal on your
Yeah,
birthday.
but I want something awesome to happen, not something horrible. It's like, Feliz cumpleaños, D. We're all sad. Oh my
By
God.
the way, half of Oregon is gone. What?
Yes, I know. And but they're saying that magma is already starting to come up to like the beach area or to the
Oh my
ocean
gosh,
or
that's
something.
so
I don't
scary.
know. It's coming up.
Are,
They've seen
are
it.
there like people around? Like
I haven't, again,
like
I'm
towns?
not
Okay, we
the
gotta do
best
some more
source.
research.
Yeah, go to your Reddit.
now I'm
Okay,
yeah,
you're-
I'll go down a Reddit hole about this volcano. All I think I'm thinking about is Pompeii from our other episode.
Oh my God.
Like, is this gonna be another Pompeii? People are just not even gonna like
Yeah.
do anything about it. Like,
Well, I think from what I heard from my source, that it's just going to happen. I don't think they can do anything about it. But then if we go down the conspiracy theory, is this really, is it man-made or,
That's true. Or can they actually? I mean, if we can control the weather, why can't we control a volcano from erupting? It's like, can't you just put like baking soda in there or something? Some kind of chemical reaction to make it.
I wonder about that. You probably could.
Like how much
of
baking soda would it take?
Man, they'll have to drop it in some sacks that are protected, if not the water. But it's in the water. It's inside the water. It's in the ocean.
Oh,
I don't know if I mentioned that. Yeah, because there's no volcanoes.
Yeah, so interesting.
Yeah, so yeah, we went down that rabbit hole for a second. I don't even know how we got on the volcano.
Me neither.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. I am Dee.
I'm Shelby.
And we are Wishes With Podcast.
Oh my
Who
gosh.
also forget. And of course, we have the mommy brain here and the old mommy brain here that one day will come back soon.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm super excited for today's episode.
I am so excited.
Because I have a lot of questions. So Shelby did all the legwork on this one, but I am just obsessed with chatting with her about all the things and asking her all the things. And hopefully you have the answers.
We'll find out. If not, I'll find them.
So we're talking about the Titanic.
Yes,
today.
the Titanic. And I am so passionate about this topic for a few reasons. One, because when did the movie come out, actually? So when the Titanic came out.
98?
Yeah, it was in the later 90s.
It was at 97. I want to say
I
97 or
it
98.
somewhere.
I want to say.
I know it. Hold on. I'm going to find it. No. Movie. Well, anyways, when the Titanic movie came out with my celebrity crush, Leo. When he was young Leo. Young Leo is like my first love. Christian makes fun of me all the time. Like, not now. He did not age well. Sorry, Leo, if you're listening to this.
Oh, 97.
97. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it came out in 97, I was very young. How old was I? I was literally 4 years old. 5 years old. I don't know. But but I watched that movie and and the weirdest part about it is, okay, so when it came out on VHS, everybody listening.
And you had to have two VHSs.
You had to have two VHSs. So it was two different tapes. One had Jack on it, which was Leo's character, and one had Rose on it, which was, what's her face?
Kate
Winslet's character. And so then halfway through, you had to switch them out. And I was just obsessed with this movie from the time I was a little kid. And I'm pretty sure the first time I watched it, I was older than 5 for sure. Because I don't know. It wasn't scary or, I don't know. I was just obsessed with this movie. Yeah. And I would tell my mom stuff. Like, I knew what happened before I watched this movie.
Oh.
I was a child. Like, I recalled, I was like, oh, the boat sank, iceberg, whatever.
Yeah.
Literally, like, I recalled people drowned, people died, crazy stuff. And I would.
Do you think you were a passenger in there, or
was something? Because I strongly believe I had a past life, and I was associated with either. I was on the boat because I also had an immense fear of water from the time I was born. And when I was really little, I was like probably 2 or 3 years old, and was like just like really forming sentences. I talked pretty early. But I would tell my mom, when you're underwater, you see bubbles going up. And I had never been underwater at that point in my life. And she was like, interesting. Tell me more about this. I was like, that's it. The bubbles go up.
Yeah.
And I can vividly remember like seeing that. So even when I'm talking about it right now, I can see light coming through the water and bubbles going up. Like this is just a core memory in my brain. And then adding in this, that I know what happened to the Titanic before I watched these movies, was just like, there's something more here. Like, you can't tell me, like, there's no question in my mind that I've experienced something like this in a past life or this specific moment.
Oh, absolutely.
So then, of course, I've been obsessed with the Titanic literally from day one. Like, this movie came out, I've watched it so many freaking times that the VHS tapes I had wore out.
Oh my goodness.
Not even kidding. The boxes are falling apart. The tapes were just like done, the film.
Yeah, well, the film was so thin.
So thin, yeah.
You're rewinding them like,
Yeah, constantly.
3 times a day.
Yeah. Literally, it was like the only movie I wanted to watch. I'm like, what? Like, child wants to rewatch this
Yeah.
drama, right? And a love story
Of course.
in Hollywood or whatever. But I always, if you ask anybody that knows me, what's always favorite movie, 100% Titanic, hands down, like no questions asked. And so they re-released it in theaters for like their 25th anniversary or something like that. And Christian we got tickets, so we got to go see it
That's
in
really
theaters.
cool.
It was the best day of my life. So, sorry, Christian. But it was the best day. And now it's on Netflix. Like we're watching
I saw
Titanic.
that. Yeah.
It is just such a good movie.
I haven't seen it in so long.
I just love it so much. But there's a lot of similarities between the movie and what actually happened. So Titanic, it's a real event that happened in time. And there is a lot of lore around it. There is a lot of conspiracy around it. And it just immediately intrigued me. And I honestly feel like the conspiracy a little bit about the Titanic, of like how odd it was and how eerie it felt and how just this shouldn't have happened. It was literally called the unsinkable ship, right? And it sank. And I think that story alone just kind of really sparked my curiosity into all the mysteries, and like really what kind of brought me into like being obsessed with, mysteries and conspiracies and even just the paranormal in general. So I credit a lot of my personality to this entire situation. But
wow.
But yeah, so I've just been really overly obsessed from the time I was a little kid about this entire topic. So I was so excited to kind of jump headfirst into just
more about the conspiracy.
Yeah, exactly. So there's quite a bit on that part, but let's just break it down a little bit, in case anybody has not watched that movie or knows anything about the Titanic situation in general. So I'm just going to make a quick kind of synopsis about the Titanic and share about it.
Of course.
So it is called the Unsinkable Ship. So April 14th, 1912, the largest, most luxurious ship ever built was speeding through the North Atlantic, and by dawn, over 1,500 souls would be lost. So April 14th, 1912, that was when...
a day before Texas.
Yeah, right.
What's going on?
That was when the ship began to sink. So just some facts about the ship in general. They began construction. Okay, also it gets better about like my connection to this boat.
Okay.
Okay, so they began construction March 31st of 1909. Harland and Wolff Shipyard in Belfast, Ireland. So my heritage in this lifetime is pretty much 100%, well, it's Scottish and Irish, but my maiden name is Stormont, and in Belfast, Ireland is the Stormont estate. So my family heritage is all from, on my dad's side of the family, it's from Belfast. So I have a lot of ties to that land in general. And my great-grandmother, because my parents are older. Sorry, Mom, love you. Came over from Ireland on the Queen Mary. So she left Belfast and came here on the Queen Mary.
Okay.
So my dad is a third generation immigrant from Ireland. But so it's just super interesting. Like this is where the ship was built in Belfast, Ireland, where my family is from. And obviously Leo's character so Jack.
Oh, I was like,
what is happening?
What is going on?
Is it raining?
I know.
Hi, Tucker.
Hi.
Tucker's
Hi,
home.
Christian.
I can't hear you. What? Yeah, we just started. I'll just edit this part out. It's fine.
Oh, we can leave it. People can know how real we are. Tucker.
My husband came home from work.
I was looking into Shelby's kitchen because I have another pastry there. So I heard a little noise, and I'm looking at it, just waiting for it to slide.
Something's going to happen.
It's just Mr. Tucker. Okay. See, but we're getting into the creepy parts.
Yeah.
And that's when things
That's
happen.
when things start to happen.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, where was I? Okay, back to where the ship was created. Okay, so Belfast, Ireland. Yes. Oh, Leo's character.
Yes.
So Leo's character in the Titanic movie, he is an Irish immigrant essentially, and he's trying to jump ship and get to America essentially, right?
Okay.
So I was like, oh, and
Yeah.
from a little kid, I was like, I was obsessed with him.
yeah.
Like that was my kid. Like I loved Jack. Okay. I was like,
Your
"Wow."
dad's name is Jack, isn't he?
Oh, my dad's name is Jock, Jock.
Oh, okay. Well,
That
it's
was a good,
yeah, okay.
interesting.
Jacques and Jack. Pretty
It's
similar.
basically
if
the
you
same
tell me.
thing.
Jacques.
He gets mistaken for Jack all the time.
Okay.
So many people call him Jack. It's really funny.
Okay.
But he also gets really mad if people call him Jacques.
It's
not
wait,
French.
what's the, how do you say it then?
Jock. Jock. It's because the French pronunciation is Jacques,
Yeah,
right? And
okay, so
it's
that's
like
Jacques,
Jauq, whatever.
Not
No,
Jack.
it is it's Scottish. It's Jock.
Okay, perfect.
You know, like,
Understood.
yeah, it's really funny. But that, I didn't even think about that. That was a good comparison.
Creepier.
Yeah, there's so much connection, you guys. Okay, so the estimated cost of building the Titanic at the time, so this was 1909, was $7.5 million. Oh, in 1912, when it was completed in 1912, it was $7.5 million, equivalent to today's. It would be over $200 million today to build that ship.
All right.
Wow. So it was 882 feet long. It had 9 different decks. Its top speed was 24 knots, which I don't know the equivalent to like miles per hour, but I feel like that's pretty fast. And it could hold, or it had on its maiden voyage, it didn't even make it one voyage, you know, sank halfway through.
Yeah.
But it had 2,224 passengers on the boat, including the crew.
Wait, 222?
2224. 2,224.
Okay, those numbers.
I know.
Okay.
Isn't that
all
pretty
right.
interesting? So it departed from Southampton, UK on April 10th, 1912. And it was supposed to go to Southampton to Cherbourg, to Queenstown, and then land in New York. That was the route. And there were some key passengers on this ship. So the way that it worked is it was a class system. So depending on like how high class you were, you got to be the higher up on the decks you could be. So there were 9 levels, right? 9 different decks. So the highest deck would be, you know, the highest class. And then it just goes down from there until you hit the very bottom, which would be like the crew and like the coal.
Yeah.
And it was a coal steam engine. And so, yeah. So the key passengers on board, some of the richest people in the world were on this ship, including John Jacob Astor. He was literally the richest man in the world at that point in time. Isidore and Ida Strauss, they owned Macy's department stores. And Captain Edward Smith, he was the captain, obviously, and this was his final voyage, supposed to be his final voyage before retirement. So he was a very experienced captain. So
Early retirement for him.
Yeah.
He couldn't wait for it. He
Yeah.
came early. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, why did it sink? What really happened? So it's really interesting. Actually, how they depicted it in the movie is pretty accurate. It split in half. So it hit the iceberg, and then half of it sank, and then it was so heavy that it just broke in half.
So they say.
So they say. I mean, who was there? I mean, there were some survivors, but so April 14th to the 15th, 1912. So this happened late at night. So here's like the breakdown of how it happened. So at 11:40 p.m., the lookout, Fred on the fleet, spots an iceberg. So the guy, you know, from the movie, iceberg straight ahead, that was real. They spotted it, they saw the iceberg, and they knew at 11:40 p.m. on April 14th, 1912. So the Titanic collides on the starboard side. 6 compartments were breached at that point. So it started to flood immediately. And they show it in the movie. Actually, I don't know if they showed it in the movie or if it was in that other documentary. But the way it worked was there was like chambers essentially. And it hit 6 of those chambers, started to flood.
But they could close those chambers.
But you could
so
close
that
the chambers
water
off.
wouldn't continue. Okay.
And that's why it was supposed to be unsinkable. So if anything, if there was damage, you could close off each chamber and still, you know, operate the ship. Apparently it was just too damaged, which they don't call something unsinkable if you don't, you know, first of all, you're jinxing it from the beginning, calling it unsinkable. Right? So 11:40,
That's on you.
they hit, they spot it, it collides, and at 12:05 a.m., lifeboats were beginning to load. So they responded pretty quick. with that many passengers, over 2,000 passengers, like that's a pretty quick response time, right? So at 12:05 a.m., they started to load the lifeboats. They with the women and children first. It's protocol, right? And at 2:20 a.m., the Titanic breaks in two and sinks.
2:20.
2:20
Wow.
a.m. It's pretty quick happening. Quick-ish, but it's like, okay, they knew at 11:40 and it hit pretty quick.
Yeah.
So from 11:40 to 2:20, what is that?
40 minutes.
Well, no, 11 to
11:40.
2:20. 11:40 to 2:20.
So it would 11, 12,
Like
to
3 hours,
Yeah.
roughly?
40 and 40 minutes.
Yeah. Like that's not that fast.
No.
Imagine
I
knowing.
thought it was like 11:40 to 12.
No, yeah.
11:40. I was
Sorry.
like, to 12:20. I don't know. I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine knowing that this boat is sinking. I need to get on a lifeboat or I'm going to die. And remember, they're in the Atlantic Ocean. They hit an iceberg. You know how cold that water is? Even if you don't drown, you're just going to die from frostbite or you're going to freeze to death.
Yeah. You're going to hypothermia and be gone.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And I don't want to hear any jokes from you guys about how Rose could have fit Jack on that freaking door. You don't know.
She could have.
I'll never forgive you
didn't
for
love
that,
him
Rose.
so much.
Yeah. You jerk. Okay.
Man.
Anyways, so the iceberg.
Okay.
So the iceberg was estimated to be 100 feet tall and over 200 feet long. It's a pretty big iceberg, but was it big enough to sink an unsinkable
100
ship?
feet tall?
100 feet tall out of the water.
Okay.
So they don't know where it started. Obviously,
Yeah.
if it was, I mean, it had to be much bigger than that, but
Well, yeah, but that's just like, okay. Like
yeah, it's like from the surface of the water to the top was 100
Who
feet.
knows how. And it only needed to hit, even, be a little bit below the hit ship to really.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wouldn't make that much of a damage if it was a smaller
Yeah.
one. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a steel ship. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't add up to me. But it believed to have like cut off from Greenland 2 years prior.
Oh.
So they like could somehow track this ice that it was like fell off of Iceland or Greenland. Sorry, I always mix them up because Iceland is green and green is ice. Yeah. And it just floated out into the Atlantic like that because they were passing through. They would have been in that space.
Yeah.
2 years prior to crashing the Titanic. I'm like, I wonder if it's like still there. Like, can we go to this iceberg?
Yeah.
Is there a memorial on the ice
Uh,
for these 2,000 people that died or 1,500 people that died?
yeah.
So speaking of survivors, so there was 705 people survived out of the 2,224.
Wow.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
So there was only 20 lifeboats.
Jeez.
And it could only carry 1,178 people. Why would you load that boat to double capacity of what the lifeboats could carry? Because they were so sure that this boat was unsinkable.
No, they didn't want people to live.
Yeah.
They knew they was going to crash.
Yeah.
It's going to hit.
It gets better too, because when I start talking about the conspiracy, you're going to be like, they did what? Yeah, just wait.
Okay.
So between the like different classes, the first class survival rate was 60%. And the third class and below was 25% survival rate. Yeah, because they loaded,
of course.
First class first, of course,
Of course.
It's super sad.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
I feel like we still live in situations like that nowadays.
totally. Yeah, I mean, what an easy way to get rid of people you don't want, right? Just sink a boat. Whatever.
No, yeah, but like I feel like if you're, let's say, in a fancy hotel and there's the people in the suites or the penthouses, and be like, let them out first.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And it's like, well, these people need to go too. Yeah, but they need to go.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
like, hello.
that's true. And then even like on a lesser note of like not even evacuation, it's like you're paying for a certain like level of service. It's like people expect that,
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean? Like when you like at concerts, like
Oh, yeah.
I paid for front row seating. I should be able to leave first or whatever. And it's like you're paying for convenience, okay, but like,
Yeah.
what makes your $200 ticket better than my $20 ticket?
Yeah.
We both just paid fucking $12 for a beer. Like what?
Yeah. No, it's, yeah.
You know what I
it's
mean?
that.
Like,
It's just
I don't
like,
know.
No, I get it. I get it.
Like, why is my life less than yours because
You paid a
you
little
paid
extra.
a little more money?
No, thank you.
Sorry, but I'm not okay with that. Anyway, so that is kind of the basis of what happened with the Titanic. the unsinkable ship sank. People died. But why?
That's
So
I don't know. After that, Shelby sent me something, and I was like, "What?"
I'm gonna go through that too.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
so crazy. But before I jump into the juice, let's talk about the differences between the actual what happened versus the film.
Okay.
Because that's like most people's knowledge of the Titanic comes from the film, which is not accurate. But there are some things. So the film was released in December of 1997. So December 19th, 1997. And it had a $200 million budget for this movie. And if you've ever seen like some of the behind the scenes stuff, it's so funny to watch because they literally had like kiddie pools and they were like filming this. And I'm like pretty impressed with like, if you've seen the movie, like it's pretty well done.
Yeah.
But it grossed over $2.2 billion in box office. That is insane.
Yeah, but their cast was incredible. Like, you know, that in the 90s, it was like Leonardo DiCaprio, like everything. One of my favorite movies was Romeo and Juliet with him, you know. So
totally.
he was like in his peak, and Kate Winslet the same, and it was
perfect.
just like,
And the soundtrack, I mean, just
all the
all
sound,
of it, you know?
Oh, Celine Dion, I love her.
That is an iconic moment.
Like the
for
song
everybody.
just popped in my head. Like, like going through it. Like I can just hear it.
I love it.
My heart will go on.
Oh my gosh. So the movie won 11 Academy Awards. So the accurate elements in comparison to the movie and what actually happened was the ship design and interior matched historical photos and blueprints. So they did put in like a lot of effort into keeping that part accurate, which was kind of cool. And the ship broke apart in two, and that was confirmed by the wreckage they discovered in 1985. So that first part where they show you, like it's, you know, they're taking you back in time to tell Rose's story, right? Where they show you the old lady and she's telling the story, whatever. That whole part where they show you breaking into, all of that is accurate.
Okay. Even Rose is accurate? Or,
No.
Oh, okay.
So so Jack Dawson, who was Leonardo DiCaprio, and Rose DeWitt, who was Kate Winslet's character. They never existed. Those were fictional characters. That was all just for, you know, the romance piece of it, which I don't know. Sounds real to me.
It may have been, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
John and Patty, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's just different names, you know.
It's supposed to happen on a big ship like that.
It was directed by James Cameron, and he actually, so the draw me like one of your French girls thing. So Jack was like the artist, and he draws her like the famous picture of her nude. James Cameron actually, that was his drawing. He drew that of Kate Winslet.
Oh, really? That's a pretty good
Isn't
drawing.
that pretty? I thought that was a really cool fact.
Yeah. My cousin, she worked for James Cameron.
Oh,
I
interesting.
believe she was working for him while, like, around the film. Oh, no, maybe later. No, in 97. Yeah. I think around that time.
That is so cool.
Yeah. I have to ask her.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, tell me. Because that's what I wanted to study, film. And I was like, tell me all the things. Well, she's married to one of my blood cousins. And she's like, he's cool. He's a cool guy. I'm all like, you cannot give me no tea, girl.
Like that's not helpful at all. But thank you,
okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. So those are like the main. You know, everything else was pretty. I mean, the way like everything about the ship, the way it looked so grand, the estate room, stuff like that. That was pretty accurate.
Oh yeah, they. I remember I think they filmed part of that in Ensenada.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's in that place. I've been to that restaurant, and it's
that's
so, we
cool.
should go. Take
Yes,
the
we should go.
It's really nice. You know, it's not my go-to spot.
Yeah.
Other than I saw it like 7 times. Went to that restaurant, but after that, it's just like we can go to show you, but I would not deliberately go there. It's okay.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of...
Oh, and I'm sorry, it's not in Ensenada because I will be murdered for saying that. It is in between Rosarito and Ensenada. It's in between there. It's not
the
in
little
Ensenada.
town in between.
Yeah, sorry, I just had a premonition of like some of my friends screaming at me.
How
Get your
dare you.
locations right.
Yeah. All right. That's good.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, anyway. So, I'm not the only one that is obsessed with the Titanic, surprise. So that's why they have created a bunch of different museums because they found a ton of artifacts. So,
In 85, when they,
Yes.
that's when they went down to, okay.
yeah, and yeah, Dr. Robert Ballard, in 1985, dove down 12,500 feet, and that's also part of the movie where you see them with the little like
yeah,
robots. Yeah, and recovered like a bunch of stuff from the ship.
Okay.
And it was 370 miles off of Newfoundland.
Okay.
Yeah, so he recovered all of these artifacts, and then they created a bunch of museums. So in Belfast, on the shipyard's original construction site, there is a museum with a bunch of artifacts from the Titanic and the ship parts and different stuff like that. My dream is to get there one day. There's also a museum in Tennessee in Pigeon Forge. They have a replica of the Grand Staircase, authentic deck chairs, telegrams, different clothing artifacts, stuff like that.
Imagine how haunted all that is.
Oh yeah, I have a whole segment.
Oh, okay.
And then the Titanic exhibit, it was on tour for a while, and it just landed in Las Vegas. So now it's permanently there.
Oh, okay.
And they have the big piece, which is the 15-ton hull section recovered in 1998.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
In 98. Okay,
Yeah.
so a year after the Titanic was out.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
after
know
the
like
movie.
James Cameron is pretty obsessed with it
Yeah.
too. Like okay.
He is, yeah. So he funded, I think, a lot of
Okay.
this stuff too.
Well, all those billions.
Yeah,
Definitely
Yeah,
do some
right?
funding.
And they recovered then in 1998 a bunch of personal belongings like shoes and jewelry and luggage, and the heart of the ocean, like the sapphire necklace, is real.
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought that was really fun.
So is that out in exhibition somewhere? Or
it's
we
in a-
just know
yeah.
that it's real, but
Yeah, it's somewhere. I don't remember where it is. But another fun fact. So, another fun fact to my connection to this is they found a lot of this stuff. So the discovery in 1985 was done in September. I was born in September, and the heart of the ocean is a sapphire, which is the September birthstone.
Are you the heart? Is
I'm
that
just
yours?
saying. I think it's
Does it
mine.
belong to you? Are you the heart?
I think
of
I am the rightful owner of that necklace. Anyways,
Give it back, whoever.
yeah, it is mine. So it's just so many like, connections that I have to this whole situation, and it's just so fascinating to me. And just some like even emotional artifacts, like the violin played by the band leader Wallace Hartley, recovered and preserved, and it is true. Like there's a quote in here from one of the survivors. Her name was Ava Hart, and she said, "People on the deck were praying, weeping, and singing. Some were silent, resigned to fate, and the band did indeed play until the very end." So that was also another accurate thing from the movie.
Really,
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're all
that's what they they were
looking
like.
at your
Okay,
fate,
let's
you're
just
like-
go. And then one's like, okay, bye, good luck. And then he just started playing. They're like, yeah, let's just play till the water comes.
so crazy. It's awful to think about.
I know.
Yeah, and they have letters written by passengers like days before the sinking. Perfume vials from passengers, from a passenger who was a merchant. So they had like these huge like cases and like what are those called? Like trunks full
trunks,
of these
yeah.
perfume bottles that are still fragrant.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
They're like these cool glass things.
Yeah, and they're probably like nicely preserved because they didn't have a bunch of chemicals.
Yeah, exactly. It's what? What is that?
Is it a cat? Sorry, everyone.
Oh my God, what is that and why?
Is it a centipede? Oh my gosh, I think it's a centipede.
Ew, no.
I may have to.
So back to the Titanic after that really fun interlude about a caterpillar centipede that could kill us. It's gone now. Good news. All right,
I
so
will double check that paper that I had in my hand out
just
there.
throw it outside.
Well, I don't know if it ever came off the paper. I was trying in all the trees, and none of them were satisfactory for the caterpillars.
Or whatever
Centipede
it is.
killer.
Ugh, murder bug. Gross. Okay.
Aw, he was kind of cute. Just confused. but it also scare the bejesus out of me.
Ugh, oh, it's so
I mean,
creepy. They're so
what if
slimy.
it was
Now I'm
the
like worried.
Demogorgon, like in a tiny form? It was the same color, I think.
Yeah, it was.
No.
Cool.
No.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
So
Titanic.
back to what we were supposed to be talking about. So I forgot where we were. I was talking about,
Okay, so we ended up with the violin.
yeah, so that was
That?
real. That actually happened. They
And
played to the
then-
very end. Oh, and then we're talking about the perfume vials
Oh, the perfume
and
vials. Yeah.
all of the stuff that they recovered back in 1985. And then that was what sparked the museums all over the place. So and then you were like, imagine how haunted that stuff is. Well, actually, you're right. So one of the shows that I'm obsessed with, Ghost Adventures, did an entire episode on at the one in, I think I want to say it was in Tennessee. I don't know. I don't remember which museum it was, but they did an entire episode where they investigated the museum with all the artifacts and stuff. And you guys go find it. I don't know what season or what episode it is, but it's so good. And they actually would hear music playing, like the piano would play.
Yeah.
They saw like kids' handprints on the windows that weren't there before, like this really crazy stuff. And they went there because a lot of people that worked at the museum were like saying like there's so much activity, like they're, the people that worked there were like writing to, the team, and they finally got them to come out there. So there's a lot of reports of hauntings in these museums. And then there's also psychic mediums that have claimed to communicate with people that have died. And they've been given like facts and stuff that they've been able to prove accurate and like find these people's names in like the book, like the ledger or whatever of passengers. And then were watches that were found that were recovered that had like the time was stuck at 2:20 a.m., which is when the ship sank, which is creepy. But yeah, I mean, that would make sense.
No, that's super haunted. And just, I'm thinking museums in general are haunted.
Yeah, I mean, and the way these people died too is super traumatic.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you didn't die from impact of hitting the water or whatever, you basically just either drowned or you froze to death over hours.
Yeah.
Right? Or I don't even know how long it would take to freeze in that low temperature of water, but yeah, pretty nuts.
Wow.
So now let's get to the bread and butter of why I wanted to talk about. Well, I mean, obviously I'm obsessed with Titanic, so I want to talk about this for lots of reasons. But some key points here about, I'm going to open up the theories here, and then I'm going to go in depth about one that I'm like strongly for. Okay, so here are some conspiracies and hidden agendas. Hidden agendas beneath the ice. That's what this article that I found says.
Oh, it's what it's called. Oh, I thought you were making
I should have taken credit for it, but I can't. I gotta give credit where credit's due. Okay, so the first one is the Olympic switch theory, and it says a $7.5 million scam? Question mark. So the theory is the Titanic that sank wasn't the actual Titanic at all. It was her older, slightly damaged sister ship, the RMS Olympic. So according to this theory, the White Star Line orchestrated a switch after the Olympic suffered serious damage in 1911 in a collision with the British Navy vessel that was no longer insurable.
Wow.
So some key points here. The Olympic and the Titanic were nearly identical in design. Some believe that they were swapped during the dry dock repairs in Belfast. So the
Were
Olympic...
they swapped on purpose, or were they just, somebody was like, ooh, like...
Good question.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're saying that they think it was on purpose. But yeah, so the Olympic was damaged in 1911. The Titanic maiden voyage was on the 12th. Yeah. So they could have swapped parts, and they were also at the same shipyard in Belfast.
Got it. Hey, question. Why did it only have 20 boats? I know that like in the movie it says like, hey, where's the rest of the boats? And the designer's like, well, it's an unsinkable ship. You're supposed to, we didn't want to like, for aesthetics, basically.
Yeah, for aesthetics. Yeah, that's what they claimed. There's a whole thing.
I'm sorry.
They had the correct amount of boats to passengers, and at the last second, they pulled some off. And I'll go into that here in a second. So another key point about this Olympic switch situation, and this is just good information to have, White Star Line was owned by JP Morgan Chase. He backed the International Mercantile Marine Company, and he stood to lose millions of dollars on when the Olympic was decommissioned. So he lost a bunch of money. He was pissed, and he's they're like, all right, let's reuse this ship and create the Titanic or whatever.
Got it.
So here's proof, and that's in air quotes here, that, stuff that can give backing to this theory that they use the Olympic or just slapped in a name on it. The porthole inconsistencies. So Titanic had 14 portholes. The wreck has 16 matching the Olympic. So it's documented that the Titanic has 14 portholes, like in all of the blueprints and everything else. But when they recovered it, they found 16, which would be the same as the Olympic. The nameplates, some suggest the Titanic name was riveted on, not engraved. That hasn't been proven.
Okay.
And workers were allegedly sworn to secrecy, so they wouldn't wouldn't give a statement at all, like, no, this is it was just the way, if they were addressed about it, they wouldn't
talk about
it.
Okay.
So here's some counter evidence. So the wreck's builder number 401 matches the Titanic's.
Okay.
Well,
But also,
you could have forged that. There are some structural differences in the deck layout, and the design didn't match the Olympic. Okay, my theory here is okay, they swapped parts. And then another one is the Titanic carried brand new equipment and furnishings never used by the Olympic. How hard is it to put new furniture on a boat?
yeah.
That doesn't stand. So I think that there's probably the truth is probably somewhere in the middle there.
Absolutely.
Like, why would you not reuse some parts? You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I don't know, but it gets better.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Gets better. So I'm just going to talk about this one last, because I have a whole lot about it. So there's a couple other ones. So the coal fire cover up, so the theory summary is there was a coal fire in one of the Titanic's bunkers that was smoldering for days before they even set sail.
Oh, and they went on it with it.
They started at a deficit is what they're trying to say. Some claim it weakened the key bulkhead, compromising the ship's structural integrity and contributing to the rapid sinking. Because it was like 3 hours. I don't know. Yeah. It seems like a long time, but it's really not for that big of a boat.
It is not. I don't think so, because look at how large it is. But water also can come in pretty fast.
That's true.
Okay.
Super interesting. So some key points about the coal fire cover up. A fire was documented and photographed before departure.
Oh.
Yeah. But that is also how the main engine gets its power, or from these coal fires. So, I mean.
Okay, I see that.
So theorists say that White Star Line chose to set sail anyways and to avoid delays. Like, it was such a grand thing. It was this huge, whatever, and they didn't want to,
So like overwork it,
Yeah.
Because in the movie it comes out of like, keep going. Yeah, let's surprise New York. Surprise
exactly.
on you.
Yes. How quickly they got there. Yeah, exactly.
The unsinkable ship, it's also the speedy one.
Yeah. And then some experts suggest the fire caused brittle steel near the impact zone. So it was just like it was already, we already had an issue with the fire, created brittle steel, and then it just so happens that that's exactly where the impact happened. I don't know. So modern metallurgical studies show that the Titanic steel was already brittle in cold temperatures. So they didn't test it in cold water. What? A fire likely didn't cause the iceberg collision, but may have worsened damage. I don't know. I don't know how much I buy into that one. But I mean, it could be all of these things. Like,
I know.
And then it
They all
gets
kind of make
into,
sense.
yeah.
Some of them make
These ones
sense.
make sense.
Yeah.
And then we get into like a little bit more of the paranormal-y kind of. So this one is the Mandela effect and time travel. So some theorists claim that the Titanic didn't simply sink, it was caught in a time loop or an alternate reality. Others suggest that their survivors and the descendants are part of the Mandela effect, involving misremembered facts. So people insist they remember the Titanic breaking into 3 pieces, not 2. Like, that's an interesting one. And then some survivors allegedly claimed the ship vanished beneath their lifeboats without sound or splash, fueling the idea of temporal displacement.
Wow. Okay.
Which, okay, but also, like, I mean, I think there's also something to be said about, like, hysteria, you know, and, like, mass panic. Like, I don't know. And also, like, when did you ask these survivors?
Yes.
I don't know.
I think, you know, especially in those days, people were just making things up to make the news somehow, to sell more paper. So
yeah, exactly. They'd say anything to get their name on the front page of the paper. So that's one of the theories: time travel, the Mandela effect. And then there is a case of UFOs.
Ooh.
So in 1898, there was a novel called Futility, which I've never heard of. It was a novella, and it was titled Futility by Morgan Robertson. And it was published in 1898, 14 years before the Titanic sank. So some people believe that extraterrestrial forces or premonitions were involved in the sinking of the Titanic. So this book told the story of the Titan, the largest ship ever built. It sank in April in the North Atlantic after hitting an iceberg with too few lifeboats.
Coincidence?
14 years before the Titanic sank. This is the book that was written. What? I don't know. It sounds like Morgan Robertson was a witch.
Definitely.
And okay, so some creepy coincidences connection to the book versus what actually happened. Okay. Both ships, so the Titan, which is supposedly a fictional thing, which Titanic,
of course, is right there.
You know, so both ships were described as unsinkable. Literally, the fictional, like, this is nuts. A fictional book, which they could have just based the Titanic off of this book, you know, but it seems odd to me. Both struck icebergs in similar locations. They both carried the elite class, so like the highest of the high, you know, richest of the rich. And they both sank at night, killing over 1,500 people. Wow. Was Robertson clairvoyant?
I'm thinking yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
And people are thinking that they're fiction?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's like beyond weird.
Right?
Like that's something.
Those are crazy. I want to read the book now.
I know.
Like, that seems insane to me. Yeah, it came out in 1898, 14 years before the Titanic sank. Literally the exact plot line.
And this Morgan is just an author, or did they have another?
Morgan Robertson, just a regular old author.
Okay. Wow. No, definitely premonitions. It may have come to, is it a he or a she?
He.
Okay, in a dream or
something.
Saw it or just got inspired with that story, with creating that story.
Yeah.
I mean. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I definitely want to read that book.
Yeah, me too. So I want to wrap it up with my favorite of this conspiracies. So this one is about JP Morgan Chase. So deadly dinner party. That's what this article is called. I don't know where they come up with this stuff. But it's about the Federal Reserve plot. So JP Morgan had business and political rivals aboard the Titanic. Isidore Strauss, those were Isidore and his wife, owned Macy's. Benjamin Guggenheim and John Jacob Astor, all of whom were opposed to the creation of the U.S. Federal Reserve. So JP Morgan, not the author, was booked on the Titanic, but mysteriously canceled at the last minute. JP Morgan owned this boat. He owned White Star Line that built the Titanic and the Olympic. Remember, don't forget that. He allegedly had a lavish suite, prepared, but chose to remain in France. So he didn't get on the boat. And he was in France, not the UK, where the boat took off. And at the last minute decided not to go. But you were in France. You would have had to get to the UK. What?
Well, yeah.
It's not that close. I mean, it's close, but not that close.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He had things to do. He said, I can't make it.
All three of his powerful rivals that were against the Federal Reserve died on board. The Federal Reserve
mystery here.
Yeah. The year after 1913 was when the Federal Reserve was created.
Of course. 3 key components are no longer in the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And where we are, where do we stand with the Federal Reserve now? Where are we? Really?
It's a freaking disaster. Okay, so it gets better. So I'm just gonna. Oh, what happened? I had a whole thing up. It's Mercury retrograde. It's these phones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so here's the theory: the Titanic wasn't sunk by an iceberg. It was sunk to kill 3 men who stood in the way of the Federal Reserve. So the 3 men that I just said. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail here. So the last powerful men blocking the Federal Reserve boarded one ship in 1912. They never got off, and a year later, the bankers got their central bank. JP Morgan Chase, it is still in use today. Before 1913, the U.S. had no permanent central bank. Private banking families led by the Morgans, Rockefellers, and the Rothschilds wanted one. They wanted a central bank, right? But 3 men stood in the way. Benjamin Guggenheim, he was in charge of the mines, so mining empires, so like gold, all of that. Isidor Straus, he was one of the owners of Macy's, the big department stores, and he was also a known anti-central bank lobbyist. John Jacob Astor, the richest man in the world and at the time, and all 3 were vocal opponents of the planned Federal Reserve Act. And all 3 were invited aboard the RMS Titanic, a ship owned by JP Morgan.
For free.
For free.
Really?
Morgan canceled his trip, his own trip last minute. They didn't.
If my enemy is inviting me someplace and then backs out, I'm going to back out too.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like fishy. Hello.
Yes.
So the Titanic was said to be unsinkable, layered with safety tech and hand-picked elite passengers. Yet on April 15th, 1912, it sank in the deepest, coldest part of the North Atlantic. But here's what they didn't tell you. Lifeboats were deliberately reduced days before the launch.
Oh my goodness.
Crew members were switched last minute, including the captain. The ship split in 2, a rare, unnatural break suggesting an internal explosion, not just an iceberg impact. So that's why I was saying earlier, like, it could have been all of these things because there was a coal fire that weakened the metal or whatever, then it could have been all of them. Multiple survivor testimonies reported hearing explosions from below deck. This wasn't a freak maritime accident. It was an operation designed to look like one.
Boom.
Insane.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
April 15th, 1912, tax day, the Titanic sinks. 3 of the loudest anti-central bank billionaires are gone. December 23rd, 1913, Congress, in a nearly empty session during the holidays, quietly signs the Federal Reserve Act into law. Let's be honest here. This kind of shit still happens today. Yeah. They wait until, nobody's paying attention and they pass crap because there's less people that are willing to step into and oppose. Wow. So they waited till literally December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas, to pass the Federal Reserve Act. Cool. The same JP Morgan who canceled his Titanic trip became the face of the new financial era.
Jeez.
The central banking system was no longer resisted because the resistors were 6,000 feet under the Atlantic.
Wow. You know what? I bet that worm that was here was that guy.
Yeah, right. JP Morgan coming back. Like, shut the hell up, you guys. Yeah. This wasn't a delay in progress. It was a perfectly timed removal of financial threat.
Wow.
Yeah. So JP Morgan.
Makes a lot of sense.
This is like perfectly spelled out.
And even if there was a iceberg, maybe they knew directed to, it's like, take this way.
Yeah. This is convenient. Yeah.
Well, make it seem like it was, in addition to that, but it started to fill up. Wow. No.
Maybe there was no iceberg. Maybe it literally was just like, they just said it was.
Because it was cold and you're in the North Atlantic.
Yeah. There's plenty of ice. Yeah.
Wow. No.
Yeah. So JP Morgan, the titan of banking, owned White Star Line, the company behind the Titanic. He was scheduled to be on board. He canceled just days before his departure, claiming he was ill. But he was later seen perfectly fine in France. Okay. After the ship sank and the 3 anti-Fed billionaires drowned, Morgan emerged untouched and became the architect of America's new banking empire. Dominated U.S. banking policy after 1913 Federal Reserve Act, he merged more banks than any man in history. He became the de facto ruler of American finance. This wasn't luck. This was a survivor's reward for playing the game right.
Yeah.
In 1911, so the year before the Titanic set out, White Star Line's RMS Olympic was badly damaged in a Navy collision. I know we talked about this, but this, I'm just going a little more in depth. It was expensive, barely insurable, and a financial disaster. A year later, Titanic was built, nearly identical in design, insurable, hype-worthy, and carrying the wealthiest men alive. Many researchers believe the ships were switched. The Olympic was disguised as the Titanic, then deliberately sunk to cash the insurance and eliminate elite opposition.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. Like all of those could have been.
Stone.
Yeah, literally.
Wow. Okay.
He lost billions of dollars on, or millions of dollars on the Olympic. And what a great way. Now not only did you just completely take over all of American finance, but now you just created insurance fraud.
Jeez.
Whatever.
No wonder insurance is okay.
Right?
Wow. Okay.
So what evidence do we have of this? The Titanic's port windows, we talked about that earlier,
That's
didn't
really
match,
weird.
which is super odd. Yeah. Survivors noted the ship's interior layer was a little odd, like things didn't really make sense. And if this was a boat that was literally
Brand
built
new,
specifically
but yeah.
for this, why wouldn't, it would have been a little bit more well put together, right? Crew who worked on the Olympics said that they boarded the Titanic but saw familiar wear and tear. There was one guy that literally said, I carved my initials into the panel and it was still there.
Oh. Yeah, that's not a brand new ship.
No way.
Yeah.
Obviously, can we trust that one dude? Who knows? Yeah. But this wasn't just this wasn't just mass murder. It may have been insurance fraud, assassination, and elite restructuring all in one move.
Yeah.
Like, dang.
Jeez.
So why were these 3 men such a threat? Like, what could they really have done, right? So John Jacob Astor, the richest man in America, backed gold-backed currency, publicly opposed a central banking cartel because he was in charge of all the mines. Which, honestly, John Jacob, we would probably be in a much better spot if we would have just not sunk the Titanic, but whatever. Benjamin Guggenheim, mining tycoon and deep European ties, feared central bank control over commodity flows. Isidore Strauss, the co-owner of Macy's, was vocal against private bankers influencing the state of money. He had personal access to U.S. politicians and didn't trust the Fed's creators. Together, they represented old wealth, family empires built before the Rothschild-style banking model. They didn't want debt slavery. They didn't want central control. Their deaths cleared the final resistance to the Federal Reserve Act. Within a year, the law passed, the Fed was born, and America was owned by interest. This wasn't just tragedy, it was financial warfare dressed up as a maritime disaster. So
good
freaking crazy.
Like article you got there.
I know, it's pretty good. It's a good one.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah, right? It just makes so much sense.
Thanks for listening.
So,
and don't forget to follow us on social media at
more
Witches Who
back into
Podcast.
There's been patterns of this throughout history. So kill opposition, pass the law. Doesn't that sound familiar?
kill opposition past the. Oh yeah,
somebody opposes you, kill the opposition, and then you get a law approved.
Oh yeah, that's happening now.
It's happening now. But let me just throw some names out there. Abraham Lincoln. He issued debt-free greenbacks to avoid central banks shot in the head.
Wow.
Shortly after, U.S. returns to debt-based money system.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. James Garfield. He warned whoever controls the money supply of a nation controls the nation. He was assassinated weeks later after making that statement.
Wow.
Here's my favorite one. Another thing about me is I'm obsessed with Titanic. 2, I'm obsessed with John F. Kennedy and his entire conspiracy situation. So much so that I want to name my daughter Kennedy.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, and also I found out that Monroe is a family name, and so I want to name my daughter Kennedy Monroe just because.
You just have to do it.
Oh my gosh,
Kennedy
we'll
Monroe.
see.
It will make people tilt their heads
Be
and
like,
be like, huh. Okay.
I think it's cute. All right.
Family name, you say? You say. Okay.
Oh my gosh. But JFK, he signed the executive order to strip the Federal Reserve of power, shot in broad daylight, obviously, in freaking Texas. And directly after the order was reversed after his death, literally days after his death.
Wow, how are we not catching up to this? Like, why are we still in this situation?
How do we not
life,
see this?
yeah.
Like, why are we so blind? Like,
yes.
or most of us, I suppose, I guess.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So the Titanic's 3 billionaires were the last line of old world resistance to central banking. They died in 1912. The Federal Reserve Act passed in 1913. The pattern: remove resistance, pass the reset. Over and over. They don't argue. They eliminate.
Wow.
It's faster. And people just turn the other freaking cheek.
Yeah.
Schools teach Titanic as a love story. Not as a tragedy, but a tragedy, a symbol of human error.
No. Full blown target.
This was a strategic execution
Yeah.
of 3 anti-bank billionaires. Hollywood made it the most watched disaster in history, but never mentioned Astor, Guggenheim, or Strauss by name. You probably couldn't. Like, think
Yeah.
about that. Freaking James Cameron probably would have been assassinated too.
Yes.
You know?
Please do not kill us.
Yeah, I don't want to die either.
No.
Just, whatever.
Okay. We curse you. We curse you. We curse you.
Exactly. Books, documentaries, and museums focus on icebergs and violinists, not on JP Morgan's last minute cancellation or the Federal Reserve Act. Why? Because grief sells, but questioning power doesn't. The story was rewritten to keep you emotional, not analytical.
Wow.
They buried the motive under music, class, romance, and a frozen sea. You cried for Jack, but you never looked for the signatures behind the sinking. I mean, guilty,
Yeah.
right? It took
Oh,
me
yeah.
30 years to figure this shit out. Okay, that's actually not true. I've been deep into this for a while, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
But think about it. If they would have made a movie about what really happened, that movie would have never came out.
Men in Black would have come and
Yeah,
you
they would-
can't air this. You have to shut.
Exactly. Totally.
Gosh. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So the Federal Reserve Act wasn't born through debate. It was midwife by silence, sabotage, and sea burial. When 3 of its loudest opponents went under, the world's most dangerous financial machine surfaced. And now every dollar you touch, every inflation spike you suffer, every recession that wipes out your savings began with a sinking that was never meant to be solved. You were never taught this pattern because if you saw it once, you'd start seeing it everywhere. You're welcome, you guys.
My goodness.
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
You know what? It's I can't. It's how do we get out of this, people? Like, really, what do we do?
Yeah, and for those of you that are like, oh, these are crazy people, look at the facts, you guys. Like,
Yeah.
this is history. And it's not even...
Yeah, it's just not the history that they want you to see.
Yeah, totally.
So go down your rabbit holes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, this was incredible. I learned so much and I'm just so angry.
I know, now we're all mad about
I
everything.
think I don't have a chase bag.
Me neither.
No.
Not like it matters. They're all owned by
I
the same
guess,
people,
yeah. They're all merged somehow.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Whatever.
JP.
Cool. So
but
yeah, Titanic. Not a love story.
No.
I mean, I'm sure people were in love on the boat.
Man,
maybe.
I'm going to see it now so differently.
I
When I go watch it, just be like, oh, damn, who are
Yeah.
you? You behind.
Yeah.
Who are you hiding? You're not the real captain.
Yeah, not you.
Not you.
I know.
That is
And there's several
insane.
documentaries you can watch too
Yeah.
about Titanic too, which are really fascinating. But yeah, I'd like to go to one of the museums one
That'd be
day for
cool.
sure and just look at everything and be like, that was mine. Or look for
Yeah.
like some names on the ledgers or whatever. Be like, I think I was on this boat.
Wow.
But one of these days I'm going to do a regression specifically to like this and see. 'Cause I'm pretty sure I drowned in a lot of lives. So
Yeah.
like that comes up a lot for me. So it's not like, yeah. So I don't know. This my connection. They have some weird deep tie
Yeah.
to this story and this boat and this whole situation that I
What
can't.
if you were the
figure out.
wife of the Macy's guy? She was also in
What's
the
her name?
boat.
Ida or something? Maybe.
And maybe that's why, the heart of the ocean. Oh no, what is it called?
Yeah, the heart of the
That's
ocean.
right.
Yeah, the
It's
sapphire
yours.
necklace. Maybe.
Who knows?
Interesting.
Interesting. Well, this has been amazing. I love it. We have
Thanks for
tiny
taking this wild ride.
Demogorgons or Gorgons like coming and
Oh my gosh.
oh my gosh, yeah, no. But okay, thank you, everyone. Sorry, I'm all
Now I'm all worried, like-
skittish with the little.
It's either a
thing. It's
ghost
fine.
or a bug of some sort.
I was worried that the pastry was gonna fall, and it didn't. So I'm gonna finish it.
That's when you notice.
And then I know, and no, I don't know what made me turn.
Huh.
Like I just like turn. I think maybe I did turn towards the pastry.
Yeah.
And I see it, and I'm like, ah.
Ugh, I've never seen one that color either. It was like a weird tan color.
Yeah, but like it had like a pinkish.
Yeah, it was very odd.
Like a skin color,
Ugh.
almost like.
Like a demigorgon.
No.
All right. Well,
Well, thank you, everyone. This was a great episode.
Yes.
You got not only your Titanic, you got authentic screams from,
yeah.
and
Real life
relating what
events.
happened there.
Tucker coming home, you
I
know.
know.
So I hope I have inspired you to maybe look at some things a little differently, you know.
And keep it real, please.
Keep it real.
Let's be us. But thank you. Go follow us on all the medias. Join our coven at Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
We have a bunch of stuff there. And we drop episodes every Thursday. So,
Yeah.
yes, that's it. Anything else?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Wear your lifeguard when your life jacket
Yeah.
when you
Count
going
the
in water.
lifeboats when you get on.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a boat. All right. Okay. Till next time. Besitos. Bye.
Peace.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to follow us on social media at Witches Who Podcasts.